Hey everybody, Dr. Colleen Sierra here. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist and the founder and executive director of Sierra Center for Behavioral Health. Thanks for being here with me today. Wanted to come on to talk about defense mechanisms, which is things that we do to cope with distress, essentially, that are typically outside of our awareness. And I wanted to talk to you about 3 easy ways to deal with it when you've got a way of dealing with unwanted feelings that is no longer working for you. So we're going to Marie Kondo that stuff. But before we go there, I was thinking about this because I was doing a 30-minute consult with somebody the other day, a new client, and they were funny. They had a great sense of humor, and they said a couple of funny things, and I laughed. And this person almost got a little embarrassed about the fact that I was laughing at some of the things that they were saying. And what they said is, this is what I do. I make people laugh, and it's how I avoid the good stuff, the deep stuff. So like, you can just tell me to knock it off and I will. And he was so embarrassed or ashamed. It almost felt like he had a moment of thinking he was manipulating me or something. And what I shared with him is that we all have defense mechanisms. We wouldn't survive without defense mechanisms. And humor in particular is one of the most highly evolved and mature defenses. So no shame around using humor to deal with distress. That's an amazing defense mechanism. And I'm not laughing because we're avoiding the hard stuff. I'm laughing because it's funny. And we've only talked for 15 minutes. And so I'm not going to go in there and start ripping all that stuff up. Defense mechanisms are good until they're not, right? So again, defense mechanisms are what we use when we're feeling distress or unwanted feelings. So, some of us use humor, make jokes, or exercise, talk to a friend. But there are some other defense mechanisms that can be slightly more risky or destructive, like self-injury, even some suicidal ideation can be a way that we defend against unwanted feelings of sadness or anger. We can lash out at the people we love, eat too much, drink too much, shop. These are all ways that we defend against unwanted feelings. So they're normal. I want to depathologize all of them, the risky, dangerous ones, as well as the ones that are not that way, because they've gotten us where we are, right? We would not have survived emotionally or maybe physically if we were not using our tried and true defense mechanisms that we've been using for years and we rely on without thinking about them. So don't feel ashamed or embarrassed at the defense mechanisms that you've used throughout your life, even if it is self-injury or drinking alcohol, whatever it is, because those are the things that have allowed you to get to where you are. And those are the things that are going to allow you to become the person you're ultimately meant to be. So that's the first thing. But what do we do with them, right? So we can say, like, all right, I'm not going to feel super embarrassed, but what do? 3 things, okay? The first is we're gonna use Marie Kondo's method. So Marie Kondo, she does the decluttering process, okay? So we're really going to use her method when we deal with defense mechanisms as well. So the first is you're going to try to get a little distance from that defense mechanism and really look at it. My nails, my daughter painted them, sorry. So you're going to really look at it and you're going to get curious about it. And you're going to say, where did this come from? And why does this have meaning to me? How has this contributed to my life? Is it still helping my life? Or do I want to put it down? That's the first thing, okay? If you decide you want to put it down, this is the funny part that everybody feels awkward about. You're going to thank that defense mechanism. It's a lot harder to change behavior when we're fighting against it. It can be like quicksand. The more we fight, the deeper we sink. So by accepting and even being grateful for what this defense mechanism has done for us, how it's allowed us to survive, that's that's a good thing. That's going to allow us to make some changes in a way that we wouldn't be able to if we were really pushing against it, okay? So that's step 2, thank it. And the third one, which is hard, is to put it down and consciously and deliberately try to do something else, which often can be as simple as writing down your feelings, calling up a friend or a partner and talking about your feelings. The antidote for working through unwanted feelings is to not to try to go around or over, but to go through. So you don't have to defend against it. If you just let yourself cry, or you just call a good friend and talk about it, or you angry journal and you scrawl a bunch of stuff and you get it out. So those are the 3 things, right? You notice it, observe it, and get curious about it. If you decide you want to put it down and it's no longer working for you, you thank it, you offer it gratitude, you accept that this has been a part of your life. And the third is you actively put it down and decide to do something else, which is simply feel your feelings. Hope that's helpful. Thanks, y'all.